You're listening to Wealthy-esque. We are a community of lawyers who believe that true wealth is having control of our time. I'm Ro Thomas, and as a busy wife, mom, and former Big Law associate, I know all too well the tension between the culture of the legal profession and pretty much everything else you want to do in life. That's why each week I'm bringing you the information and tools you need to improve your money mindset and manage your money to create true wealth. Because ultimately, it's not about the money. It's about the freedom and flexibility the money affords. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. I hope you're doing well and having an amazing day so far. Today, we are talking about the game of money. So this was a concept or an analogy or something that is kind of brewing in my head, and I'm hoping that I can articulate it well enough that it makes sense. So I'm thinking about money as a game. And if we think of it that way, we can think of each time we get paid as a turn in the game. And then the money that we keep is like our points in the game. And the key is to maximize each turn that we have to move us forward on the game board and to earn more points. But many of us aren't doing that. Many of us are staying stuck in the same place turn after turn. So my kids love playing Trouble. And if you've ever played, you know that you have to roll a 6 to even get out of your home space to get on the board and start moving around. So you can sit there for turn after turn, rolling everything but a 6. And it can feel really frustrating because you're not moving forward. Like you're just sitting there and there's nothing you can do about it. That's exactly how many people are approaching the game of money. You're sitting there turn after turn, not moving forward, feeling frustrated, and you think there's nothing you can do about it, so you're not doing anything about it. You get paid, and then you go and spend it all on DoorDash or Amazon or Trips or whatever the thing is for you, and then at the end of the month, we end up in the same place that we started in, right? Haven't moved forward in the game, haven't saved anything, haven't paid off any debt. Staying stagnant doesn't feel good. It feels really frustrating. And to be clear, I'm not saying not to spend on those things. I'm just saying I want you to spend in a way that still allows you to move forward on the game board with your finances to earn some of those points. I had a conversation recently that I think helps to flesh this out a little bit. So I was talking with one of my couples clients where one spouse is a lawyer and the other spouse is in a position where he can work overtime. And in the year before we started working together, he had worked so much overtime that he made $60,000 above his base salary. And he was saying that the overtime just wasn't worth it. He was away from home more. They didn't want to do that anymore. And here's what I asked him. If they had used that $60,000 to move themselves forward, if they had paid off $60,000 of debt or they had saved up $60,000, would it still feel like the overtime wasn't worth it? And he was like, well, yeah, if that was the case, then it definitely would have been worth it. And so the only reason that they were thinking the overtime wasn't worth it was because they didn't use it to move themselves forward. They didn't use that money that they made from the overtime to move themselves forward. They spent the money, right? So they had some cool experiences, but at the end of it, all they have is the memories of those things that they did. They sat turn after turn in the same place for a year. Even though he was working longer, even though he was away from home more, they didn't make the most of those turns, and so it feels like the overtime was a waste. You have to use your income for your benefit. So each time you get paid is one of your turns in the game, and you want to look at where you're going to be at the end of that turn. Are you still going to be sitting in the same place waiting to roll the right number, or are you going to be moving forward along the game board? And I know this isn't a perfect analogy because there's no real winning in the game of money. Like I guess if there was a winning, then it would be like the ability to retire or to do something else because you're financially in a position to do that. But the main point that I'm trying to make here, which I've said many times before, is at the end of each month, I want you to be able to see that you've moved yourself forward financially. You've paid off some debt or you've invested or you've saved. You have something to show for the money that you made. You've built on what you did the previous month. That is the key to money. So no more staying stuck in the same place month after month, turn after turn. It's time to make the most of your paychecks. It's time to make the most of each of those turns and move yourself forward. Because if you don't, you're just going to stay in the same place and feel frustrated. And if you don't know how to do that, let's talk about how we can work together. Just head to rothomas.com/call and schedule your consultation. All right, that is it for this week's episode. Come connect with me over on social media. You can find me on LinkedIn, Ro Thomas, and Instagram at I am Ro Thomas. Subscribe to the show and leave a review, both of which help more people to find it. And please think of a friend who could use this information and share the episode with them. As we close out, friend, I pray that you take the information you learn here, apply it in your life, and open up to the realization that wealth is available to you. As you do that consistently, week after week, you'll continue to take steps to regain control of your time, build wealth, and live the life of freedom and choice you deserve. Talk to you later.